Welcome to the Hottest Wellness Podcast. I've got time with Cherry ShaKayla.
Here we discuss personal growth, relationships, and healing to become aligned with the best version of ourselves.
Hi.
Hey, baby.
My voice.
You sound hot. I think they're going to love it.
Okay.
Say something.
Something.
Say my name.
Oh, Cherry. How you doing today?
I'm all right. I'm all right.
Am I sick or you?
I think I need my water.
So how you doing?
I'm okay. I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm doing better than usual. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm learning how to transmute my anger right now because I usually don't let myself go there.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm super excited because we went to go look at a few houses last week that had me all turned up on the manifestation vibes. You know, like if you ever want to manifest something, you want to like experience it. So like if you want a certain car, go test drive it. Just go test drive it. You don't have to get a credit check just to test drive a car.
Yeah.
If you want $1 million house, even if you don't have $1 million budget yet, go look at the house. Like, don't limit yourself. I was told this week that if you want it, just ask for it. And you don't have to do nothing in return. You just got to ask for it. That's it.
Alexa, play I Want It All by Trina. I want it all.
I don't think I know that song.
It's at the end of I think it's the Still Amazing.
Oh, So Amazing.
So Amazing?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's at the end of that album.
Okay, I probably didn't make it into the end. Is there anything you want to get off your chest this week? No? Well, I wanted to, this not really get off my chest kind of, I just wanted to like bring this up and have like a mini discussion about it.
Mm-hmm.
So last week I seen like a clip of an interview with Young Jeezy, and he was like on either a podcast or radio station, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking about how he got on, it's basically he hustled, and for 2 years he only spent $2 each day, and he would go to Subway and get like a $2 combo. And that's all he ate for 2 years. And he spent all his money just stacking and stacking and stacking. And I'm not like trying to be funny. Everybody has their own like perception of what is like motivational or inspiring. But to me, it just was like, I don't know what's the purpose of telling this story, because it's 2023 and a lot of people don't even have savings.
Yeah.
And it's not really healthy or realistic to tell somebody, oh, just have one meal a day and keep stacking your money up. First of all, there is no $2 menu. You can't even get something for $1 at McDonald's anymore.
Yeah.
And so
the sauce packet.
that kind of grinded my gears just a little bit. And like people saying like, yeah, this is what you got to do. You got to stack your money. And it's like, I just personally don't believe in depriving myself of the things that I enjoy. Like, I enjoy pleasure, and I'm not gonna like give it up for 2 years just so I could say I saved some money. Like, that's just me personally. I feel like in my life, when I'm supposed to have large amounts of money, the universe provides it for me. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I be needing to get recalibrated, and God will humble you. And I'm like, okay, this is the money that I'm supposed to have right now, and I just have to be present in that. I feel like if you meant to have money, you shouldn't have to work for it in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, it should come to you with ease.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sound like a crazy manifestation girly, but I am.
I get what you're saying, though. Like, it's kind of like a relationship. You shouldn't be putting in all this extra work to get it. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely something I want to talk about on a later episode for sure. But yeah, that's what I wanted to get off my chest today.
Yeah.
I want to get into the affirmation of the week.
Let's do it.
This week's affirmation is, I embody the feminine energy of creation, attraction, and intuition.
Yeah.
How you feeling about it? Hungry?
I feel like I'm still understanding or still learning what feminine energy is.
Yeah. I understand what feminine energy is. I feel feminine energy, but it is hard for me to get out of my masculine. I'm working on it though. I'm working on being more balanced in that. Yeah.
I feel like every 6 months I rediscover how feminine I really am. And now maybe I'm confused about what masculine energy is.
Well, I feel like masculine energy is not what people portray it to be. It's not like characteristics that are of a man, like paying all the bills or whatever they think that shit is. Just like feminine energy is not like cooking and cleaning and looking pretty. It's like totally different. Like, so, you know, you just have to like get into that and learn what that is and then get in a swing for yourself. You know, sometimes you're supposed to be more feminine when it calls for it, and that means that you're in the receiving mode. And sometimes you're supposed to be more masculine, which means you're in a giving mode. So you know, you just gotta manipulate the energies and figure out which time is best to be doing either.
True.
Yeah. So what are we talking about this week?
On today, we're talking about just how awful you masculine energy people are.
Okay. Fragile masculinity. This was like a few months ago. I was on Instagram and I seen this picture. It was like in somebody's like carousel or whatever. And it was a restaurant and they had a frame and it was like a hole punched out in the wall. And instead of fixing the wall, they framed it and then they named the painting Fragile Masculinity because I guess like some dude got worked up, got upset, and he punched a wall. And I was like, yeah. It's like masculinity can be toxic, but I feel like it can also be fragile. And a lot of men are not comfortable with the fragility, or they are in denial of it. Because obviously, if you're so emotional that you could just punch up a wall, it's like you're really not emotionally balanced at all.
Speaking of emotionally balanced, there was a podcast where they were speaking about emotional intelligence, and there was like a clip where one of the men was saying, basically just saying, yeah, men are more emotionally intelligent. And I didn't listen to the episode. I tried, I started, I got 5 minutes in, and I just couldn't. Because there's no way that you can make this make sense.
This is why I don't listen to a lot of male podcasts, because I feel like a lot of men have the wrong perception of themselves. Like the way they see themselves is not the way like the world is viewing them. And I think they don't understand what it means to be emotional. Like emotions, there's a range of emotions. There's happiness, there's sadness, there's anger. Like it goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
Everybody should be emotional. It's healthy to be emotional. Like you're supposed to have emotional awareness. You're supposed to be able to understand how you feel. And a lot of men aren't even comfortable expressing how they feel. A lot of men aren't even comfortable hearing other people's feelings, which is a huge issue.
I feel like they confuse not being able to recognize emotion and also pushing emotions to the side with being logical.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that was so well put. Definitely. It's like definitely a mask of it. Like, okay, this is what it really is, but we're going to put some makeup and dress it up and call it logic. Like, men are not more logical thinkers than women. They almost always make emotional decisions, which I feel like more women, we have to think through our decisions. We can't just be all willy-nilly doing what we want, because the world is not created for us.
Yeah.
And that's just on the patriarchy, you know? Which, by the way, so, you know, the patriarchy is a system that was created, you know, long before we was living here, ultimately to control women and for men to be at this top of the pyramid hierarchy. So, misogyny is what thrives under that umbrella of patriarchy. And that's what a lot of men give, especially I feel like this last couple of years. I don't know what, it's probably the podcast, you know, the podcast. And so it's starting to get dudes like thinking in this certain mindset that is so misogynistic.
Yeah.
Very harmful to themselves and women, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And listening to these podcasts, y'all got to be careful, because that stuff really starts influencing the way that you think.
You are what you eat, you know what I'm saying? And it's like you keep digesting information and you don't fact check it, and you don't think about how the information this person is telling you is actually impacting other people in your life. Once you know, start to act out in that way, it's very irresponsible, and that actually shows, you lack emotional intelligence. You just doing whatever anybody tell you. You just influenced.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows like misogyny is basically like, you know, a hatred towards women, a disdain towards women, and ultimately like a power system like the patriarchy. But I really wanted to bring up misogynoir.
Misogynoir, it sounds fancy.
I mean, they want to dress it up and make it real for us. So misogynoir, I can barely talk. Misogynoir is the dislike of consent for or ingrained prejudice against black women. Misogynoir shows how sexism and racism manifest in black women's lives to create intersecting forms of oppression. So this was a while ago. We talked about intersectionality on one of our episodes, and like I was like that circle, and like on a inside is like people who have the most privilege, and then it's like a middle column where people have like a medium amount of privilege, and then there's the outer circle where people have like the worst privilege. And people that have the worst privilege are like black women, people that are disabled, people that are trans. You know, it goes on and on. So it's just something that we experience, that if you are not black and you are not a woman, you're probably never going to really get it. A lot of people minimize it because they don't understand how that impacts us on a daily basis. At work, at home, in our relationships. And that's because the world is so misogynistic. We're all inherently misogynistic because we've been born under the patriarchy and groomed pretty much to believe this stuff. Like, I used to be a pick-me.
I feel like we all used to be pick-me's. There's kind of no way around being a pick-me at some point.
Yeah, I feel like as a girl, you're taught certain things about men. First of all, you're taught to look for one before you're taught to like look for yourself. And I feel like a lot of women have this like need to be in a relationship, and so they're gonna put things to the side that they might feel about how they're being treated, just so that they can be in that relationship with somebody. And to me, that is a pick-me, because there's certain type of women who support misogyny, and they get benefits from that. You know what I mean? A benefit from that. At least they say they do. I don't think pick-me's really get picked.
What is
pick-me's honestly give side hoe energy.
Yeah.
They do.
Damn.
It's like, you know, that's the type of woman they're gonna go to like get their rocks off and use and abuse, and then they're gonna go back home where all of that's not tolerated.
A lot starting to make sense.
And honestly, this is general, so please don't act like we're saying all men. But just like we just said, we're saying like men and women. Everybody can be misogynistic.
Yeah.
What you think was some ways that you was a pick-me? Like, what you used to do?
Well, for one, I judged women, and I thought, basically I was thinking that everything women should do should be like a good representation for themselves so they can have the right man want them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, why you come out the house like that? No man is going to want to be with somebody that... Basically Nasty Girl by Destiny's Child.
Oh my God, you was a bonnet hater?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was like a little Bible thumpy with my judgment towards women, because I was like heavily raised in a Christian environment. Mm-hmm. And so my outlook of women is that they should be more, what is that word? It begins with a C.
Cunty. No.
No. Oh, no, it don't begin with a C. I'm saying like, is it like moderation? No. What is it?
More
conservative.
Yeah,
it's a different word that I was thinking of, but never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, what was I talking about?
You had a Christian viewpoint.
Oh yeah, okay, I was in the middle. Sorry y'all. So, you know, I would judge women like based off of their sexual experiences. If they had like a lot of sexual partners, like I absolutely believe that women could be hoes. There was definitely to me a double standard as far as men having a lot of sexual partners than women, and it still being wrong. And then I even had weird ass fucking views about like abortion and shit. Like I was, you know, pro-life. Which I'm so ashamed of that at this point because it's like, girl, what? But you have to understand these is all things that we have to unlearn. Like when you're at home, you're in this small bubble of whatever it is that your family believes. And so they push that into you. And that becomes your belief until you get out into the world and start having experiences. And you're like, what the fuck have I been believing this whole time?
Yeah.
Or you are portraying that image of that your family taught you. And then you start operating in the world and you're like, why the fuck are people treating me like this?
Because you're a terrible person.
So, yeah, definitely.
I thought about something else I used to do. It was bad out here. I was just like, for a while, I was a get in the kitchen person.
I'm glad you ain't that no more, because baby. Listen, I can understand that. I think that when I got married, I had this view that I had to perform as a wife. And to me, what a wife was very much that. Serving my man, making sure he's taken care of, putting him before me, making sure the laundry's done, making sure the house clean. And before I knew it, I had a baby.
Ooh, child.
Men are like babies when they expect you to take care of them, and they honestly take advantage of a lot of women. Like, you ever seen that one video that's floating around and the dude was like, if she come over to your house and it's a mess and she don't offer to clean up or start washing dishes, she is not the one for you. Like, hold on, this is the first time you brought me to your house and you didn't even have the nerve to clean up then, and then you're gonna act like I should come to your house and start cleaning? What kind of weird ass shit is that?
Because first of all, you're nasty. Second of all, I feel like you're not used to getting pussy if you don't at least clean up a little bit before I get over here.
Like, because that's a complete turn off. Nobody want to have sex in a disgusting environment, like, for real.
And why are you expecting me to clean? Are you going to clean when you come over to my house?
Right. You know, I'm not ashamed to admit, but I do look back and be like, ugh, girl, your standards were so low. The type of men that I used to deal with or the environments that they live with. Like, I actually dated a dude and his mattress was on the floor.
I can't speak too much on that.
Y'all.
I had a time where my mattress was on the floor and that didn't stop me.
Baby. But yeah. So that just says a lot. Anyways. Do you feel like under misogyny, is that where like gender roles thrive at, or even like the expectation of what certain genders should behave as?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like adjacent to pick me. Because that mindset is women should be and behave a certain way.
Yeah. And men should be and behave a certain way. too. And this is why I say that the patriarchy doesn't benefit anybody, because this is the same system that tells women that they need to be cooking and cleaning and staying at home with their kids is the exact same system that is telling men they need to be the breadwinner, they need to pay 100% of the bills, they need to be a protector and a provider, and that's not who every man is. And so what happens is men do shit like get a girl pregnant and refuse to marry her, which, by the way, having a baby with somebody is way more of a commitment than getting married to them. You can get a divorce, but that baby ain't going nowhere, honey.
Yeah.
And it's like, y'all act like this is so good for y'all, but it's actually harmful for y'all. So a person who absolutely didn't want to be a father, who absolutely didn't want to be a boyfriend or husband, get in this situation, and then what do? They fucking leave the girl, or they don't mess with her no more, or they don't take care of their kid. And it's like, all men are not meant to be protectors and providers. And that's just on period. Some men are more in their feminine energy. They want to be taken care of and being served. And that's a lot of their energy.
Yeah.
The amount of men that want to go 50-50 nowadays, which I feel like that should be based on an individual couple and you guys' finances. I don't understand what the beef is on that. But what I'm trying to say, I feel like I keep losing track of my thoughts.
Well.
And here I was thinking I had on my thinking cap, and I ain't down. By the way, shout out to my best friend for making this hat. She gave this to me as a gift after our initiation. It's so cute.
I do like it.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a really, like, girly.
I was just talking to my cousin Imani. You guys know she's been on the show a couple times. And when I picked up first she called me on the phone and she was like, hold on, I'm about to FaceTime you. And then I picked up the FaceTime and she was like, oh my God, you just look like a ray of sunshine. Like if I prayed for a sunshine golden goddess to come, you would be who showed up.
Yeah.
You know, I love when you get gassed up or whatever. Like, she's a good gasser upper. They say Libras are selfish, but they definitely can, like, give people good compliments. That's why I think Leos and Libras go together well.
What month is that?
It is this month. Well, it's Scorpio now, but it started last month on the 23rd, and then it ended this month on the 23rd. Yeah.
Interesting.
Which is today. Today is the start of Scorpio season. Happy birthday, Scorpios.
I don't think I've ever known any Libras. Maybe one, but
you don't?
They were an asshole.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. A lot of people see Libras the wrong way, but like the thing is, it's not about your sign, because we really have all of the signs impacting us, plus whatever the influence is of astrology at the moment. It's more about, are you have you had growth yet or not? Because when you're on a lower vibration, you don't give a shit about how you treat people. You barely care how you treat yourself.
Wait, Leslie's a Libra.
But you like her, don't you?
Shout out to Leslie.
Shout out, girl. I love Libras. Some of the coolest people I think are Libras. My cousin Imani is a Libra. I have a Libra moon, and my best friend has a Libra moon too. Kim K is a Libra. Amber Rose is a Libra. Judge Judy is a Libra.
It's starting to make sense.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think that they're just like take no shit people. But everybody can be messy as hell when they're in a lower vibration. Like when they haven't had growth yet or any self-realizations. They're not very self-aware. It's not like just Libras or just Leos or just Geminis. They're even just Virgos, because y'all hate us. People be really dragging Virgos. I feel like we getting off topic though, because I could actually talk about astrology all day.
I feel like I didn't start saying anything about Virgos until
you met me.
It's always been people hate Geminis.
People are starting to like Geminis. They've starting to warm up to it. I think people just don't understand what astrology is. They just be saying shit, you know. They're like, oh, they're two-faced. Like, that doesn't mean they're two-faced. That means that actually they have the ability to see perspectives from different sides. Like, some Geminis are messy, but like I said, that's on a lower vibration. People that talk shit about other people or gossip. Like, everybody's not doing that. And then we all gossip and talk shit. Sometimes it's like, now and again you'll do it, you know, and then you be like, no, let me stop. I don't want to talk about people, you know. I wanted to bring up a song. Do you know that song, Let Me Clear My Throat? Let me clear my throat.
Yeah.
The other day, it just was so funny that this song came on that I was in the car. And I'm listening to the lyrics. And when it gets to the end of the song, you know how back in the days they used to always be doing like, ladies, put your hands up at this, fellas. And like he did something like that. But like what he said was so misogynistic, because what he said to women and what he said to men, it was completely different, and just, I didn't understand. Okay. He says, all the ladies in the place, if you got real hair, real fingernails, if you got a job, you going to school, and y'all don't need nobody to help you handle your business, make some noise. He sound like Tyler Perry.
You know that would make him make some noise, though. Because it's like, yeah, I don't need no nigga.
But that's because we be hyper independent, because men don't show up for us in that way. And it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be balanced. Like, we're two women in a relationship, but we know how to give each other what we need. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do about being a man and a woman and having like certain expectations because of gender role.
Yeah.
To be honest, I know far more niggas that's living off of women than I do know women living off of men. I don't know a lot of women who can count on their partner to pay all of the bills. I know a lot of dudes, though, that are hobosexuals.
Well,
Soon as it start getting cold, he want to bring a bag and spend a night at your house. Always talk about can he get a plate when you say you just cooked. Like, there's a certain type.
Yeah.
Now, this is what he said about the dudes. Now, to all the brothers in the place that don't give a damn about what the ladies talking about, because you just trying to get chummy, make some noise.
Can somebody tell me what chummy means?
It means like getting friendly. So basically they're trying to get up on some women, get friendly. So, you know, blah, blah, blah. For men, it's just a standard to be so hypersexual or put that in the front. And like, that's another thing that's groomed into us is like, when you're a teenager, the sex talk with boys are so much different than the sex talk with girls. Girls are like pushed for purity and like stay a virgin until marriage. You never hear them saying that to dudes unless they're Mormons. And men, they're encouraged to have as much sex as possible with as much women as possible.
Which is so strange and honestly really nasty.
It's unsafe.
Like, I just don't understand. If you don't want your daughter, whatever reason you have for not wanting your daughter to have sex with any man, I feel like you should have the same reasons for not wanting your son to be out here.
But you know, that's just on sexualizing girls, because we get sexualized from a young age. Excuse me. I told you before how like when I was a kid, like I have a shapely body. I got hips. I got booty. Eva's like a little me. And so you can imagine me growing up and my family starting to see me take shape, and they're like seeing guys stare at me. Like I told you one day we was in Five Below and I literally caught a dude staring at my daughter's ass, and she's fucking 8 years old.
That's really
I was sick to my stomach, and then I just looked at him like, I fucking see you looking at my daughter, and then he tried to look away like he wasn't doing that shit.
That's nasty.
Disgusting. I was really pissed off about that, like for real. But yeah, we just get groomed into being docile housewives who do what men tell us and are, what do they call it? Not old fashioned. What do they be calling
Traditional.
it? Traditional. Yeah. And submissive. Girl. Another thing I feel like that is a huge double standard. I probably already said this, is like cheating. Did I say that?
What?
Like when women cheat and when men cheat is totally different. Men, it's expected for them to cheat. A lot of women are in relationships with men and they're like, everybody cheats, girl. Like that is honestly their belief.
Girl.
And a lot of dudes cheat on their wives, like just left and right, or their girlfriends, whatever. But if a woman was to cheat, it gets a whole opposite reaction. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a whore. Like, she's the dirtiest girl alive. Like,
yeah, they
she
do be
belongs
coming
to the
at women
streets.
crazy if a woman cheats. It's like she's damaged goods.
The perfect example is this Will and Jada situation. I'm not going to get into nothing that's going on around with them or her book or anything. But the way the internet has been, like, literally, what is that called? Doxing her. The past week since her book came out, acting like she's not allowed to speak her truth about what was happening in her life. And they act like the whole book is about her and Will's marriage. It's not. It's about her life. She's telling about her story from when she was a child to now.
Yeah.
And they're like doing memes of her, putting her pictures on different bodies. It's like all over my timeline. And it's actually pretty disgusting. When they both said that they were in an open marriage. And like, I seen this TikTok and this girl show like all these different videos where Will Smith was literally with other women, kissing them in the mouth on red carpets, a lot of women that he worked with. And he was literally having those relationships right in front of the camera. And nobody ever said anything. Now, as soon as people found out Jada and August Alsina was having a thing, it's a whole big deal. Like, I don't think she deserves what's happening to her. I get it. You guys are tired of hearing what they're saying. But, like, don't buy the book then. Okay? She's on a press tour. That's what everybody who does when they put a book out. Yeah. They trying to sell it. And you're not her audience, and that's okay.
And I feel like the fact that Will is publicly still supporting her is like, y'all gotta chill.
Like, really. It's actually really sad, you know? Yeah. I had watched a clip of the interview she did with Jay Shetty. You guys know how much I love Jay Shetty. I'm literally manifesting going on his podcast. Like, I am gonna go on a Jay Shetty podcast. And he pulled out a letter that she didn't even know that he had, and he said, Will gave me this letter to read to you on this interview. And the letter was basically like, I wish I would have hugged you more when I first met you, if I knew the things that you had went through. Like, it was just very endearing, and honestly, it brought tears to my eyes. Like, I could cry right now thinking about it. And it's like, why do you guys think that she deserved to be treated like this? It's like on Easy A, where she lied about having sex, and then everybody just started calling her a whore. People was paying money for her to pretend they had sex with her. It just was insane.
Yeah. I feel like just because she's wording things differently than I guess Will has over the years, people just think she's just bashing him and disrespecting him. And it's like, number one, it's kind of obvious that they're in on all of this together. Like, y'all sound crazy.
He literally dropped the book last year and she dropped the book this year. Like, you guys really got to stop. In between the red table talk and all the other things that they're doing, they're using this publicity that you guys giving them to really reach their people. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad how women get treated. Like, we've been watching the Kardashians. Kind of uneasy about admitting that. But we started it from the beginning. So this is like the second time that Khloe get cheated on by Tristan. And she was like so shocked that he cheated on her. And apparently 3 days before that, they
started the surrogacy.
Yeah, the process to have through a surrogate. And he was going for the last 9 months, because the girl was like about to have the baby any moment. For the last 9 months, he was in court trying to get paternity tests, and so he knew that he had a baby on the way, and he was still like telling Khloe, I love you, I want to have a family with you.
Basically manipulating her into having another kid with him.
I just want you to open up Instagram, go to Tristan's page, look at the comments. And then go to Khloe's page and look at the comments. People treat Khloe so bad, and she's the one that is being hurt in the situation.
Right.
And I don't understand even why women are saying like, oh, you stupid, you dumb for going back with him. Like, we've all been that girl though. For somebody at one point in our life or another. And if you haven't, oh, big whoop. Congratulations, bitch. Good for you. Like, it's so bad how they're treating her.
Yeah.
Like, Chloe is actually probably one of the best sisters, like, as far as her kindness and generosity, and just, like, her personality is cool as hell. And she just don't deserve that. Like, that just makes me so sick.
Yeah. People always, specifically in cheating situations, they always go after the girl and not the guy.
While we're on the subject of pregnancy, I did want to talk about men who trap women, just like he did to Chloe, because he thought her having another baby with him was going to make him stay with her, which ultimately, but a lot of men have this idea or perception. It's like the same thing about the gold digger, even though you don't have no money, that women are the ones trapping them. Like, I didn't want a baby by her, blah, blah, blah. And she trapped me. First of all, you guys were having consensual sex with no protection. She did not trap you, okay? All right. Now that we got that clear, there are way more women getting trapped by men with babies. And then they leave them.
Yeah. I've definitely witnessed men getting women pregnant just so the women won't leave them. And like, even if they break up, it's like they know that she's always gonna be there. It's like, you can't leave me because you got my baby.
A lot of dudes have the misconception that even if they're not with their baby mother, that they still have access to her, whether it's sexually or monetarily, whatever it is that they feel like they was benefiting from her to make her get pregnant in the first place. You know, that's what they do.
Yeah, it's kind of sick. It is sick.
I wanted to bring up another song by one of my faves, Tupac. And this song is Keep Your Head Up. Everybody love that song. Keep your head up. You know?
Things are going to get easier.
And one of the verses he says, you know what makes me unhappy? When a brother make babies and leave a young mother to be a pappy. And since we all came from a woman, got our name from a woman, and our game from a woman, I wonder why we take from our women, why we R-word our women, and why do we hate our. It's time to kill for our women, time to heal for our women, be real to our women. And if we don't, we'll have a race of babies that will hate the ladies that make the babies. And I just want to say how prophetic he is at a time where conscious rap was not really like pushed. But that's where we're living at now. Men hate women.
Yeah.
They use women as sexual devices, but they much rather have those little surface level relationships that they have with men. And they hate women. They hate us.
Well, the thing is, they have really intimate relationships with their homeboys. They love their homeboys.
But so many of them are going around right now saying they don't even know their best friend's birthday. Like, I could not know my best friend's birthday. Like, it's my best friend.
Men are just... I'm sorry.
They have really surface level relationships, and then they say, oh, women always falling out with their friends. It's like, it's easy to not fall out with your friends when all y'all do is play video games, smoke, and go to the club together. I'm not saying that's every situation of what people be doing, but men just tend to have more surface level relationships. Yeah. Like, I know some men that they really do have real relationships with their friends, but I will say a lot of the men that I am good friends with, I feel like the friendship we have is not like the same relationship they might have with a girlfriend. Do you know what I mean?
Like, you're closer?
Yeah. I mean, because you might have known them longer, or what the case may be, or you just know a lot of things about their life because you've been their friend for a long time. And like, they take forever to just be open with people, to share their emotions. And it's frowned upon, like, in the men community. It's like, man, stop being a pussy. Like, ain't no crying in here. Like, you know, I remember when I was a kid, my uncle used to chastise my brother. And he would be, like, trying to punch him up sometimes and be like, you a man, you a man. And it's like, what are you doing? He's a boy, first of all. And, like, men don't have to be tough. They don't have to be. Not all men are tough, and not all men can fight. Because I know several of them that be getting beat up by their girlfriends. Not saying it's right, though.
We do not promote domestic violence.
We don't. We was just talking about that. The last thing I really wanted to bring up is the pay gap. I feel like it was necessary for us to reach this conversation because this is one of the things that patriarchy really affects and misogyny. Because you can get a job, be having the exact same qualifications or better than a man, and when you find out what y'all making, the woman is usually being paid more. I cannot remember what the statistic was, but it was a large gap between what men or women are making all across the board in every field. It doesn't matter if you go to college for 12 years, if you have your doctorate, if you are a lawyer, it doesn't matter what the fuck you are. If men are also working in that field, you can guarantee they're being paid more than you, and it's crazy. And honestly, that's another reason why men need to be paying for everything, because you get more money.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally being paid like a third more than me. Yeah, you should be paying for this date, my nigga.
Yeah. I remember working at a job and finding out one of my male friends was getting paid more than I was. And it was like, what's that about? Because I think at the time, position-wise, it didn't make sense. It's like, interesting. And this is kind of off topic, but just how corporations lie about raises. They'll tell you that they have a cap on how much they can give people, maybe in your department. And it's like, first of all, this is not what you told Susie that sits over there. She just got a $2 raise, and you're telling me you can't give me more than 25 cents?
And that's why misogyny is a thing, because not only do we have to do with sexism and having a pay gap there, there's also every other woman, whether it is white, Hispanic, it doesn't matter, Asian, all of them are going to be making more than us. Like, you can look up the statistics and it says, like, you know, black women, black men, it says every like race you can think of that's like here in America, and like what it is as far as the pay. And black women by far are making the least amount, and that's crazy because we're the most educated in America right now, as a whole. So it's just very weird, and unacceptable in my opinion. I don't know as women what we can really do about that except refusing to take jobs that are not going to pay us our worth. Yeah. But that's honestly everything. This is like, I didn't plan on bringing this up, but like now that we're here, that was pretty much the reason I quit my last job. Well, part of the reason.
Yeah.
I probably would have stayed working my job and I feel like managed through whatever issues I was having with my boss and maybe one or two of the other people I was working with. But I was making $14 an hour, okay? And I was working like 9 hours a day, and I was doing a lot, okay? I was managing the entire scheduling system. I also am trained in cosmetology and aesthetics, so you know, I would be talking to them, I was motivating them, I was doing graphics for certain things, I was like making up the graphics for training modules. And when I took this job, I told her, you know, for what the qualifications say on Indeed, I feel like the pay is kind of low, especially based on my qualifications. And she was like, well, you know, we could put you in the lead position eventually, and then we could talk about having a raise then. She knew I was very clear that I needed some more money to work this job. Okay. It gets to the point where there are no other girls working the front desk. I am the only person that works the front desk. And that means I'm the fucking lead. Okay. And also I was doing inventory. I was doing a fucking lot that she didn't even know how to do in the first place. We didn't even get started on how unqualified her ass was. It's pissing me the fuck off, actually.
Yeah.
And I emailed her with my request for a raise. I list all of my duties and responsibilities, why I felt like I deserved a raise. She took basically like a week to message me back just to say, we could talk about offering you a raise at your 1-year review. You think I'm going to keep working here for another 6 months before with $14 an hour? That's not even a livable wage. And I'm educated. I'm not doing this. So I started a conversation about the pay at my job. I was asking everybody, how much do you get paid? How much do you get paid? Because, you know, people, companies try to act like it's illegal. They want to frown upon that because, you know, then they're going to be forced to like match other people's pays.
Yeah.
There were cosmetology teachers making $15 an hour. $1 more than me. Yes. So not only did they go to cosmetology school, they went to instructor school. Mm-hmm. So that means they probably spent a good upwards $20,000 to $50,000 on their education. Mm-hmm. And then they come here. They're here all the fucking time. Their schedules are hectic. And they're only being paid $15 an hour. One of my coworkers was working at the grocery store part-time. And he said it was mostly for insurance because the job offer was shitty. So you're not giving people benefits. You're paying them low wages. And this is a fucking hair school. On top of that, it is a big brand hair school. They are making millions of dollars every year. The students are paying about $25,000 each. Okay? They can afford to pay people a proper wage. And the fact that they brought her in over the current supervisor's head and gave her 6 figures when they were paying the other supervisor less than $18. She wouldn't confirm with me what it was, but she said it was less than 18. So I'm going to guess it could have been 16, maybe 17, but I'm looking more than 16. And she was a management position. And this lady didn't have no qualifications. The rumor at work was she used to be a lunch lady. And her husband was friends with the owner of the school. She ain't know nothing from a can of paint, baby. And I feel like that's why I intimidated her, is because I was so knowledgeable. And just like when I come in to do a job, I'm going to do my job. Mm-hmm. And people want you to do a job how they want it to be done. And if you don't know what you're doing, I don't think you should be telling me how to do this job.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you should be asking me. Like, when I was in the hospital and I came back, like, they didn't have no front desk the whole time I was in the hospital, which was 3 whole weeks. When I came back, they were all so happy. Like, oh, we're so glad you're back. We're so glad you're back. Like, the students and all my other coworkers. And when I started doing the schedules, at least for the next 2 or 3 weeks, because we had all our different sign-ons for the program, the scheduling program, I kept getting schedules that was messed up, mixed appointments, different days, and all of them had her name under it. You can't even schedule clients and you're making 6 figures and then you're telling me I have to wait a year to get a raise? You out your love everlasting mind. And that is how the intersectionality of sexism and racism affects our lives on a daily basis. And now I'm motherfucking unemployed because I'm not dealing with that shit. I told her in an email, I said, I am worth more than this. That's it. I'm worth more than this. And I told her, you have a month to find somebody else. And then at that point, she started being even more micromanaging. And I was like, I quit like 2 weeks in. Time. She was a major hater. Not to mention the lady was watching my stories on Instagram. I had to block her on like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And it's like,
mad weird.
Okay. They really be obsessed with us for real. Like, you know, they hate when you looking good and stuff, and like your hair getting all these compliments. Like, you know,
yeah,
I be doing my thing. I be looking good. People love me.
Facts, baby. Talk your shit.
Yeah. I guess we can move into mental health matters. We're gonna make it quick this week.
Mental health matters.
I just think everybody, whether what your gender is, you should explore in your life how toxic masculinity not only impacts you, but the other people in your life. Mm-hmm. Especially women. And maybe your behavior should be more aligning with something that is more equitable. You know? Mm-hmm. And, yeah. Before we moved on, I felt like it was necessary for us to just say something about Palestine right now. the reason we didn't bring it up is because honestly, neither one of us are educated enough, I feel like, to really speak on it. And so all I really can say is like, obviously, we're praying for their freedom. And, you know, just for all people deserve to be treated right. It's really dehumanizing what's happening over there. And it really does make me feel really grateful for the life that we have. We might be dealing with patriarchy and misogyny, but women over there, it's a lot of things happening.
Yeah.
Even outside of the state of war. And so I just wanted to say that, like, sending, you know, prayers and condolences and just bringing it up because we should use our platform, you know, to talk about shit that matters.
Yeah.
You got anything to add to that?
Thoughts and prayers.
I was thinking of what she say on Bridgerton. What she be saying?
Oh.
I can't think of it. Oh my god. I'm gonna think of it later and be so pissed off.
Something about tears, I think? Or, wait.
I'm about to Google it.
I don't know.
Sorrows, prayers. That's
Yeah.
what she said. I'm gonna start saying that.
Sorrows, prayers.
Yeah. So you want to get into forest bias?
Yeah.
I'm gonna run through these real quick because I don't want this episode to be crazy long.
Crazy long.
Issa Rae dropped a new Prosecco. That's dope. I honestly don't know what the name is.
It looks cool though. The marketing is, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's Issa Rae. Can she not do anything wrong? It's called Via Rae Prosecco.
Cute.
Via Rae. Okay. It's a sparkling white wine. I know that they have it at Target.
Already?
The bottles is $20, $19.99.
Okay.
So shout out to Issa. She's always doing things. I think she's like on her 3rd or 4th Hilltop location, which is like her
Coffee shop?
Yeah, her coffee
Yeah.
shop. She's just always doing something new, something cool and innovative, and like just really being on her bag. Like I remember on Insecure, she always drank Prosecco with a shot of like vodka or something like that, and I was like, this is really dope to see that come full circle for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out East.
Always. I also wanted to bring up Joey Badass. Love him down. He's like just really motivational and shit like that. You might have seen him on like Grownish. There's other stuff he been on, like wasn't he on
BMF?
No, not BMF. The one wait, it is BMF. You're right.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, recently he unveiled a new mentorship program to empower men of color. It's called Impact Mentorship. I think a lot of men need this. You know, we're always constantly trying to offer resources, especially to men, just because we don't create that safe space for you. So I feel like we should recommend safe spaces for you to go to.
Yeah.
So check that out if it's interested to you. Want to get into the breaks?
Let's do it.
There's so much new music out this week. It was like really hard to like not put everything that I want to talk about. First things first, is Rihanna coming back?
They say she is. I actually saw some more posts today. Like, you know how you see it one place and then everybody start posting it? So, if it's not true, everybody thinks it's true. I don't believe it.
I feel like Rihanna hasn't posted it, and so it's not true. I feel like people always speculating. I just personally don't see Rihanna just having a baby a few months ago about to go on tour and signing the contract for 2 albums. I just don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? That's just that. So we'll see, I guess, with that one.
I'm curious. What do you think her music would sound like now?
Well, you know, when she did R9, which she never released, by the way, that was a reggae album. You know, she was about to give us some real Caribbean vibes. And honestly, I think that would be a treat. You know how much I love reggae. And Rihanna is honestly one of my top 3 favorite singers. Or just artists in general. I love her. So I would be super excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out.
But I don't think that's a real thing. Like, honestly, she got in her bag with her lingerie and her makeup line. Why would she come back?
Yeah, she doesn't need music. So if she did decide to do music, I feel like it has to sound good. Because it's like, you want it. You know what I'm saying?
I just feel like the fact that she did not release her last project that was supposed to come out, that says enough.
Yeah.
Like, y'all need to chill.
Dang.
But on to albums that's actually coming out. My girl Callie, she dropped a new album. It's called Fuck Girl Season. Last week I mentioned a new song she had. Well, she dropped a new project. So go check that out. If you know you like bad bitch music, she's really giving the vibes.
I didn't realize it dropped already.
Yeah, it dropped last week.
Dang, I need to head over there.
City Girls dropped. Now, I manifested this and I called this, like, this was at least 3 months ago or 2 months ago, because we were saying it was the end of the summer and it would be kind of weird for them to drop an album now because they really make summertime music. Well, they definitely did. It's called Raw. I haven't made it through the full project. I don't know yet if I like it or don't like it. I'll say that.
I think I made it 3 or 4 tracks in. I left. Twan sent me a song that's later on in the album. I do really like that song. It's like, what's it called? Fancy Ass Something.
Oh, I hate that song. That's the one that they just came out with. What's her name? Petra or?
That's the song?
Yeah, the one they dropped the video. It's called Fancy. I just don't think the sound of City Girls go well with pop. Like,
it sounds good. I'm glad I heard it before I saw the video.
Yeah, it's just not my cup of tea. But like, I can see why other people like it. They looked really great. I mean, they always do though.
Let me make sure that's the name of the song. Fancy Ass Bitch. No, that's the one with Juicy J.
Oh, it's different. So they got Fancy and Fab. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna check that one out then.
It's a hit. I mean, you can't really lose with Juicy J. And I think the sample on it is... Sample. I can't think of it right now. But, yeah.
I love Juicy J. I love when he produces. You know, I've been praying for him and Meg to get back in the studio together. Which she's actually about to drop a new project as well. Or even just a new video. And so that's so exciting.
5-second video. I don't know if there was a real video attached with that.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to come out tonight or something.
Yeah. So
we'll see what that's about. What for you came out this week that you were excited about?
Well, Offset's album. It's called Set It Off, I think. Let me make sure.
Yeah, it's called Set It Off.
Yeah. I didn't make it all the way through, but I think I made it to like track 13 or 11. I think it's like maybe 20 songs, 21 songs.
I mean, that's a pretty good amount that you made it through.
It sounds so good. And I try to, just play it cool with those people over there. But it sounds amazing. It doesn't sound like anything's missing. I mean, honestly, his other album was good. If we're being honest, Takeoff had the best one, but you know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace, Takeoff.
Rest in peace. Y'all gotta get over there though. I even enjoyed the songs with his wife.
And you know how I love Cardi B. Well, I love her music. Okay. Let's be specific. What else?
Kenyon Dixon. I don't know when this dropped, but he dropped a project called The R&B You Love. He makes really good R&B music. It's real good.
You've mentioned him before on a podcast. I've never went back to him, but I'm pretty sure I've heard his songs on at least 1 or 2 of your playlists. Yeah.
He definitely makes it to playlists. I haven't made it fully through that album, but I like what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
West Side Gun dropped And Then You Pray For Me, which is the follow-up to Pray For Paris. Pray For Paris is amazing. I Hear and Then You Pray For Me is good. I think I made it to track 2. It's kind of a different vibe from Pray for Paris for me. So I got to come back at a different time.
That's respectable. Are you listening to anything specific this week? What's your music of the week? I don't think you put anything down.
Because I just kind of been listening to everything.
Yeah. I have a bunch of different things. First of all, The Green dropped a version to the Monster Mash. It's so good. It has the reggae vibes, of course. And it's Halloween time. Like, I don't know about y'all, but Halloween is literally my favorite time. It's my favorite holiday. And I was super excited. I love The Green. I love their music. They're probably like my favorite reggae band for real. So it was super exciting to see that. Victoria Monet dropped a remix to Girls Need Love by Summer Walker. Fire.
Yeah.
This might be the
Amazing.
remix of the year for me.
Have you listened to the other ones?
Mm-mm.
I thought that they were going to be all on the same track. But apparently each one got their own remix.
Who was each one?
She got one with Tink and somebody else. I'm not sure what the other person's name is.
That's interesting. I mean, shout out to her for putting people on and shit, though. Because, like, I feel now she has a broader audience since her album before the last one, you know? Like, she really blew up. So, shout out to her.
Yeah.
The remix is fire. The Victoria Monet, you know, she can't do nothing wrong in my eyes. She on tour right now. She's looking so good. I just love her vibe. You know, she just give, like, girl energy.
I fuck with it.
And girl on girl energy, if you know what I mean. The last thing I wanted to mention is that Outkast had their 25th anniversary of Aquemini. Yeah, I was going to say Aqua. Aquemini. And if you're an Outkast fan, then you know that that album had like bops on top of bops on top of bops. It probably was the album that really like put them on. And I love Outkast. I especially love Andre 3000. He is such a genius to me musically. So I was excited to see that 25th anniversary edition and everybody just talking about it. And it was dope.
Shout out.
Fellow
Jim.
Yeah. So what are you making time for this week?
Just doing it.
Call us Nike.
For real.
For real though.
I'm an athlete.
Honestly, I see brand deals coming our way. Hello, Christ.
I got a brand again.
No, she said all these brand deals that I'm swimming in. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh. What you making time for?
What am I taking for? I'm honestly making time to recuperate because as you can hear, I am going through it. Last week, my daughter had pneumonia. And now almost our whole family outside of Cherry has a cold.
Yeah.
And the symptoms really just started hitting me hard. Like today, yesterday it was like growing. And today, now I sound like Brandy. And there's nothing wrong with that, but my throat hurts, you know?
Yeah.
I want to feel better. And because I have a immune system that is not functioning at its best state, I get sick easily. And when I get sick, it's like worse than the cold, you know? Niggas over here feeling like they got COVID. Don't though. But, you know, for me, that's how it be. Like, really be like, I be down bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to, like, feel better for real. And, like, I can't get Cherry sick, so I can't, like, really kiss her. That's so sad. We just keep giving each other air kisses, like. Side note, even though we've been watching the Kardashians, I'm, like, loving her and Travis. I feel like they give us energy. Like, people don't really see us be a couple because we don't really post that online.
Yeah.
To us, we just living our life and being happy, and I don't care to share that with other people. But yeah, it was definitely giving us.
Yeah.
So I want to kiss you.
Yeah. This is a setup.
I guess without further ado,
I've got time. I came in early.
I came in late. I feel like I couldn't get the I out.
Let's do it again.
Well, without further ado,
I've got time. Yeah.
We had it that time.